Hey, Cold Gains here. Today I turned my Vulkan renderer into a million particle simulator. Also along the way I make a pretty important announcement about the future of the engine. But first, chaos. My renderer can already handle a million CPU-side particles. The next step is to launch them into orbit and see what happens. A small disclaimer, I'll also upload builds to GitHub so you can mess around with the simulation yourself. Anyway, I start by putting together a basic update loop and experimenting with gravity. First, I throw a million cubes into orbit. It looks so cool! I was flying around in the simulator, looking at it from various angles, trying to follow the particles. It is so mesmerizing to look at. Also, I just noticed this while editing. Is it just me or does that thing look like the Nvidia logo? The default coloring looked a bit boring, so I started messing with the shader to make the simulation feel more alive. With a dark background and bright particles, it almost feels like everything is orbiting some invisible black hole at the center. I just faked the whole visual thing in the shader. I hard-coded the light source at the center of the simulation and used a bit of fog lighting to brighten the faces pointing inward. Despite how simple it is, the result looks surprisingly good. The particles reflect light in the darkness and the whole simulation is feeling way more cinematic. Good enough? No need to overcomplicate it this time. I don't want the simulation to be just something you stare at, I want a sandbox. Luckily, I already have a basic input system and IMGUI makes throwing together sliders and buttons very easy. I've made options to tweak timescale, gravity strength, the position of the center mass. After a while, I got bored looking at the same cube setup, so I started building completely different scenarios. And honestly, this is the most fun I've had with programming in a while. I've spent so long working on the renderer itself that I kind of forgot what it feels like to just mess around and make weird experiments like this. It actually reminds me of that old video where I tried recreating Microsoft Screensaver with pipes. And this particular scenario here is a little bit special. You'll see why in a minute. Also subscribe, please. One of my favorite additions is this pulse mechanic that sends a shockwave through the entire simulation. It doesn't really serve a purpose other than looking cool, which can be said for this entire thing, but I like it. I also have a feeling YouTube compression is absolutely destroying this video right now, so I uploaded the Windows and Linux builds to GitHub in case any of you want to try it yourself. The info is in the video description. Check it out, it looks way better locally, and you'd be the one controlling it. Right now, the simulation runs at around 40 frames per second on my machine, with a million of particles, which is honestly way better than I expected, considering everything is on the CPU side. I also made the particle count lower in the downloadable version, so it shouldn't crash on start on potato PCs, hopefully. And finally, I add a button to export screenshots, because I want to take a picture of it. I'm very happy with how this turned out, and while creating this, I realized I love working on this renderer. I love creating all sorts of weird experiments and seeing what happens. And I like the idea of a multi-threaded engine, and even though this project is still in its early stage, I wanted to give it some hope, so I decided to give it a name. And I present to you Chord Engine. Chord Engine is my passion project. I don't give it a name because I think it's going to compete with massive commercial engines, but because it's mine. It's been a long time since I built something from scratch, something original, and I think the best way to discover new ideas is to try doing things yourself. The end goal of all of this is simple. I want to make a game I want to create, a game I want to play, and to do it my own way, with my own engine. I am building this game for myself, to prove that I can not only follow practices set by other people, but I can do something myself. Alongside Chord Engine, I also started working on a website. I want a place where I can share the stuff that never makes it into the videos. Technical details, experiments, failures, ideas, and eventually development logs for the game itself. There is so much happening behind the scenes that I think some of you might find it interesting. I've also been thinking about creating an old-school style forum, because for me, modern communities like Discord feel temporary. Now, Discord is a great place for talking and practically everyone uses it, but it's terrible for preserving knowledge. Half the problems I solve right now come from some random forum post made 15 years ago by a guy with the exact same issue. and somehow those posts are still more useful than half the modern internet. So let me know what you think about that idea in the comments. I'd love to build something not just for myself, but for people who make projects like this possible in the first place. I genuinely can't express how happy I am with the progress so far. And we're not stopping here, we are making a game. And I want to say thank you, absolute beasts, who've stuck with me till the end of the video. I'll be seeing you soon. See ya!